AV sold the property to the city. The board planned to open a new middle school at that old location. Well, this morning, a tri-state mother says that she had her brand new car for just less than a week before it was stolen right outside of her apartment. She's now afraid that she's become the latest victim of that infamous TikTok challenge that's led to thousands of stolen Kias and Hyundais. WCPO 9 News anchor Brett Bagansky shows us why she now has buyer's remorse.
Looked at this car, it was real nice.
Starlet Tolbert desperately needed a car.
I was like, oh, I like this car.
So she bought this 2017 Kia Optima.
Come out one morning, it was gone.
Starlet showed us where it was parked on Pendleton Street on Saturday, July 1st.
Right here.
And you walk out of your
Yeah, I
house.
walk out and stand there like, what in the world? So it was right here.
She told us she got a call from Cincinnati police Sunday saying they found her car.
And evidently it ran out of gas. So they parked it.
It wasn't totaled, but
It was trashed. Back window broke out, wheel column torn out.
and a dent on the front end.
I ain't want to really see me cry, but I was crying in the rain.
We introduced you to Carmen Ellis last month, where her Hyundai was stolen right outside of her apartment. And just like what happened to Starlet, whoever stole Carmen's car broke the plastic steering wheel cover. So both of them will try and take advantage of a new $200 million settlement from Hyundai and Kia, where companies agree to give money to reimburse thousands of owners for damage. While Starlet waits for her car to get fixed, she's wondering how much this is going to end up costing her.
I work hard. I'm a single parent. And it's like you working 2 or 3 jobs just to have, something decent, and you can't like this.
It's so frustrating. Well, some companies, as well as some municipalities and even the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office, they've been handing out steering wheel locks to prevent people from stealing cars. Well, this morning, all Ohio High School Athletic Association schools, they're going to be required to accept cash for tickets and concessions starting in October. This is due to a provision in an Ohio House bill signed into law last week. The association told member schools that it will offer some suggestions later on this month for schools that are currently all digital with their ticket sales. Several schools went cashless during the COVID-19 pandemic. The new cash requirement likely won't apply to tournament contests. Well, Kentuckians are going to be able to place bets on sports in September. In-person sports betting opens September 7th, the same day as the first NFL game of the 2023 season. Now, Monday, Governor Andy Beshear approved new emergency regulation governing sports betting. Kentucky's racetracks are the first retail spots to have such betting in place. Each licensed horse racing facility can now apply for a retail sports book at their main location. Beshear says starting in September, they're going to put Kentucky in the competitive mix with this multi-million-dollar cash flow anticipated, and he called it a historic day.
Bringing sports wagering to Kentucky means more money to support our pensions for our hardworking law enforcement, our educators, every state, city, and county employee. I want to see any freed up dollars going to support public education, economic development, disaster recovery, and other necessary projects like providing clean drinking water to our families, building safer roads, and supporting high-speed internet.
Kentucky is the 37th state to allow sports betting. It joins 6 of its 7 bordering states, including Ohio, Indiana, and West Virginia. Now, online sports betting goes live September 28th. Each racetrack can partner up with 3 operators, meaning Kentucky could have as many as 27 online sports books come this fall. Well, experts say that if you've noticed more insects buzzing around you this year, you are actually not imagining it. They say that the tri-state is seeing a lot of flying carpenter ants, and these carpenter ants are normally in the area, but typically they are wingless. Dr. Jean Kritsky says recent weather has attracted swarming ants.
This year, we've had a perfect storm. We had a cool spring. We've had now very warm temperatures and a lot of rain for the last few weeks, and that has been very conducive for things like swarming ants.
Dr. Kritsky says it's not going to get much better until the weather cools down, and we do have an article on our website right now that gives you some tips to make your home less attractive to all these bugs. In the meantime, I don't like bugs, Jen, but I don't think the weather's going to be cooling down anytime soon, so I think they will flourish. They'll just be buzzing around.
The swarms. My daughter actually mentioned that yesterday. She was walking a neighbor's dog. She came back. She's like, Mom, the bugs. And they were like kind of long and thin, and they're on your arm. And Yay! Gotta love the outdoors. But you know what? Sometimes it's worth it to get off the iPads, right? All right, well, let's get a look at what the sky is like this morning. Mostly clear here across the tri-state. No big rain issues as we start the day. The temperature is actually pretty decent outside. So where is the rain? Oh, it's lurking out there. I'll show you when we're looking at the next best chance to see showers and thunderstorms coming up in your 9 First Warning forecast.
They're lurking. Jen, thanks so much. 4:39, and law enforcement says fentanyl is a big reason cities across the country are seeking a spike in these drug overdose deaths. Why officials say Southern Ohio is such a hot spot for this market. Welcome back. Drug overdose deaths have skyrocketed across the country over the last 10 years. Law enforcement agencies point the finger at the distribution of fentanyl. Last year in Hamilton County, more than 430 people died from this accidental overdose. 2/3 of those deaths are linked to fentanyl, and fentanyl is a synthetic opioid. It's 50 times stronger than heroin. Local law enforcement says that the supply has surged nationwide.
Fentanyl killed people immediately. It overdosed people immediately. And we had not seen that in any other drug.
We have never faced a threat like we have today with fentanyl. If this were fentanyl, this could kill 500 people.
So where is it coming from? The DEA says it starts in China, where the chemicals to make fentanyl are produced, and then it's shipped to cartels in Mexico. Officials seized 25,000 pressed pills in Middletown last year. WCPO 9's Madeline Ottley, she spoke to the DEA about the dangers for buyers.
A lot of the time, people who are buying these counterfeit prescription pills don't realize that they're counterfeit, correct?
They have no idea.
Southern Ohio is a helpful hub for cartels because it's in the middle of the country with lots of interstate access. Experts say it's perfect for moving drugs anywhere. And tonight, Madeline, she takes a look into the devastating impact of fentanyl, the chokehold that this drug has on its users, and what some in the tri-state are doing to stop it. That is tonight at 6 p.m. Well, Monday night, a documentary premiere shed some light on the difficult 6-month training period for firefighters. Behind the uniform, a new class that follows Cincinnati Fire Department's 118th recruit class. And this film debuted Sunday. It played again yesterday with a reception at OTR's Woodward Theater. And it shows how these new recruits develop as a team and then transform into professional firefighters who often run into some of the most dangerous situations.
I think it's really important. You want to learn something when you do a documentary, at least in my perspective. And, at least I want to say that, like, when you watch it, you know that you're hearing it from the people that go through it.
Haley Snowden is the executive producer for this film. She's also one of our own here at WCPO 9 News. She's a producer, and she says watching her own father work as a firefighter helped inspire her to make this film. And it took her a year and a half to complete. Just amazing work there, Haley. And of course, we haven't seen much in the way of actual fires here in the state. We saw that wildfire smoke for sure. It seems like it's dissipated a bit, though. I haven't noticed it as much.
We haven't had that northeast wind.
Yeah, that's
so anytime it picks up, because the fires are still there.
Oh, they're definitely, but it's incredible the way that just that shifting wind, you feel like, oh, you kind of stop thinking about them.
Yeah,
but I'm sure they'll come back.
It's a matter of time. But for now, it's the southwest wind, it's the heat and humidity, and hello, summer.
I like it.
Oh yeah, we're gonna roll with it here for quite some time. But for today, high pressure is now just south of us. So this is still giving us that mostly sunny sky for really throughout a lot of your daytime hours. It's also, though, starting to shift our wind back to the south. You can see as that wind comes around and back on the backside of the high, it does start to pump in more heat, eventually some more humidity, but storm complex is still well out to the west today out there in the Great Plains. Now, even severe weather chances still removed from the tri-state at this point, but we will get there in the days ahead. Not glaring issues with severe weather, but the potential is going to return. But for this morning, out the door, low 60s for really everybody. Maybe a little bit warmer there at Brooksville at 65 degrees, but Batavia's at 62, Dry Ridge at 66, Lawrenceburg right at the 60-degree mark, and the dew point is still kind of low 60s there, so it's just a little stick to the atmosphere, but not bad. It's a great pool day. Grab the sunglasses, the sunscreen, maybe a bottle of water, and have some fun today. Temperatures will warm to the upper 80s, about 4 degrees warmer than what we had yesterday. But without it being overly humid, there's no heat index to factor in. So jump in the pool, splash around, and cool off. Tonight we're down to 66. There are a few clouds. Winds will still remain though from the southwest, so it's building in some more humidity. You'll notice it more tomorrow as the temperature again ends up in the upper 80s. But tomorrow there are thunderstorm chances. We're on like the periphery of things though. So the Storm Prediction Center does have at least the western half of our viewing area. So all of Indiana and a little bit into Ohio and Kentucky there in the marginal risk for severe weather. Now this would come into play in the afternoon. It's all though regarding, if this complex of storms holds together or not. There will be a decent complex of showers and thunderstorms developing on Wednesday afternoon, more out in Illinois and Indiana. But by the time it gets here, it looks like a lot of the energy may even skirt just a little more north of us as we go through the afternoon hours. So I can't rule out rain there for Thursday or Wednesday afternoon. That's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And again, some like slight chances there for a little bit, but it does not look like a total washout. Then going into Thursday, we'll again see another chance for a larger complex of storms to enter the Ohio Valley. The models, though, it's like one takes the first round a little more north, the other takes the second round a little more to the south, to where we might just be right there in the middle of rounds of thunderstorms. Obviously, if either shift by, let's say, 30, 40 miles, which happens, we could end up with more robust showers and thunderstorms. So for tomorrow, it's just that risk to the west. For Thursday, it's everybody because it's trying to figure out where this complex of thunderstorms is going to roll as it makes its way through on Thursday. And then again, Friday, kind of an unsettled environment again. Highs will be in the mid 80s. We'll see scattered shower and thunderstorm chances, and it'll still extend into Saturday as well with isolated showers and storms, but with overnight temperatures in the low 70s, a big indication that humidity levels are going to be much higher in the days ahead. Raven, the last 2 mornings haven't been too bad. It's not too overwhelming outside, but by the end of the week, the humidity will be real.
Oh no, not ready for that indeed. All right, so listen up for your traffic this morning. We are just fine as you head out the door, but just a heads up, if you do live in Kentucky, starting tonight, 8 p.m. all the way to Monday at 5 a.m., we're talking about Richwood Road being closed. That'll be the portion right under 7175. But for tonight, though, the on-ramps will still be open, so you'll still be able to get on the interstate. But over the next couple of days, there will be various closures. We'll keep you updated on that. But again, for tonight, starting tonight at 8 p.m., Richwood under 7175 will be closed.
Good to know. Raven, thank you.